This video is all about customary units of measure and converting from one unit to the next. On your Google Drives, boys and girls, I have shared this document with you. I think it's a really nice document because it has all the different types of measurement all in one place. The first one, linear, that means length, so distance, length. As far as life skills, definitely memorize these right here. This, miles and yards in a mile and feet in a mile, never needed that in my lifetime unless I'm teaching 5th grade conversions. So don't worry about those. Capacity, volume, how much a container will hold. All of these are a life skill. You will use them all of the time, especially in one of my most despised rooms of the house, the kitchen, where I have to cook and bake. Never turns out well. But if you can memorize the Land of Giggles, or some of you talked about the Mr. Gallon that you remembered from possibly 3rd grade, I also shared this document on your drive. You can draw that out, but for 5th graders, it does not have the ounces. So if you can come back to the Land of Giggles, remember I said the queen had a prince and a princess, and they were very spoiled. They didn't want just one crown, they demanded 2 crowns for each of them, and that was your cups. And those crowns were covered in 8 onyxes, or 8 ounces for each crown. So I can use this to say, well, then there's 16 ounces in a pint. Now, if you're going to use this chart, and even the Land of Giggles, as I mentioned, don't draw the whole thing out. Every single part is the same. So memorize just one limb. Maybe you want to draw out a leg or an arm, whatever works. Memorize it. Now for weight, definitely know these 2. Those are life skills. All right, so the other video that I shared, the other document that I shared with you on your drive looks like this. Now this is not something that I would ever expect you to memorize. It's just a handy little thing to remind you that when you are going from small to large, you divide. Small to large, divide. Small to large, divide. And when you're going from large down to small, you multiply. Just like we do with our Sally and our Larry. So if I am going inches to feet, it's small to large, I divide. And when I'm going feet down to inches, it's large down to small, so Larry smells musty. And it follows the same for all the different units of measure, whether it's capacity or weight. Handy little chart, just a nice little visual of how that all works out. Again, that's on your drive. So for the next part of the video, what I'd like you to do is have your paper and pencil handy, and definitely a chart of your choice for your conversions, and copy down these problems and work on them. Then come back, so pause the video, and then come back and check my work. Now before you pause, I want you to take a look at this one. We're missing our conversion. They put it first, the one that's missing. They want to know really how many inches are 4 feet equal to. So 4 feet is equal to blank inches. I don't know why that messes up my brain, because I'm so trained to say, oh, are we going small to large or large to small? And inches is small to large. Divide. Well, that's not true. I don't know that I'm going from, I do know that I'm not going small to large. I'm going with 4 feet. I know the 4 feet, so I'm really going large to small. Anytime I see a problem written with my blank first, I flip it and I rewrite it. And I say, I want to take 4 feet and convert that into blank inches. I highly recommend you do that every single time. So pause the video, ask yourself the questions, use the conversion chart, and then come on back and check your work. So I hope you're back. I'm going to ask myself small to large or large to small. Well, I'm going large to small. Larry smells musty. My large number is 4 feet. I know my operator is multiplying, and my last unit will be inches. So now I need to find out how many inches are in 1 feet. I've memorized that. There are 12 inches. Whoops, I didn't leave myself enough room. So I need to squeak that in there and do 12 times 4, which I hope you know by now is 48. So there we have it, 48 inches. Our next problem, copy this one down. Now be careful, there's a fraction. Actually, there's a mixed number, right? Pause the video. Same questions apply. Okay, you're back. So I'm going yards to feet. I'm going large down to small. Larry smells musty. All right, I'm going to have 1 1/4 yards equals blank feet. Just wrote that over again. So 1 1/4 yards. My operator is multiply. And now I have to say, well, how many feet are in a yard? If you haven't memorized it yet, 3 feet, 1 yard. So I've got to multiply this by 3 equals my blank feet. And you know we never do a mixed number times a whole number. We are going to get these into fraction by fraction. So I'm going to go 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1, 5/4 times, I'm going to turn this into a fraction. I'll check to see if I can cross reduce. Nope, so I just have to multiply across is 15/4. That we know is an improper fraction. We need to reduce it to lowest terms by dividing up. So 4 goes into 15 3 whole times. That would be 12, and there would be 3/4 left over, and therefore my answer would be 3 3/4 feet. Now this is going to be the same whether you are doing linear measurements, capacity, or weight. Be prepared to do things with fractions and decimals. And remember, when you are using a fraction with a division, you always want to keep, change, flip. You would keep your first fraction, change the multiplication to, the division to multiplication, and then flip or use the inverse reciprocal of your second fraction. So keep, change, flip whenever you are doing a Sally looks divine. In fact, why don't we try one of those just in case? So how about, move this up a little bit. We'll try this one. How about 4 1/2 feet equals how many yards? Well, we are going small to large. Sally looks divine. My small number, 4 1/2 feet. I am dividing. How many feet in 1 yard? 3 equals blank. So I'm going to take, while I'm working with fractions, and knock off my units of measure here. And I'm just going to do it 4 1/2 divided by 3 equals. Now we know we don't do it in this form. I'm going to go ahead and turn this mixed number into a fraction. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9/2. I'm going to keep my division sign first, turn my whole number into a fraction. And now I am going to do keep, change from division to multiplication, and flip using the reciprocal. Now this one happens to be nice because we can cross reduce. I know right here I can reduce that 3 divided by 3 is 1 and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2, and of course that now is an improper. We'll put it in lowest terms, divide up. 2 goes into 3 1 whole time, 1 left over. That is in lowest terms, 1 1/2 yards. There you have it.